Welcome to Digital Marketing School. Today we're talking to Doug Farrell from Mail Online. Doug, you're very welcome to Digital Marketing School. Can you first tell us a bit about your role in the Mail Online?
Well, I'm the Ireland manager with Mail Online, which is part of Associated Newspapers and the Daily Mail in Ireland. My job predominantly is to grow the commercial end of the business for the online side.
How would you compare the digital news model to the traditional news model?
It's a really interesting time at the moment in terms of convergence, and I think that content providers such as newspapers really need to kind of merge the two together. I think you can't look at one and the other in different kind of hands. You need to kind of really just merge them together in terms of what you're offering offline and what you're offering online should complement each other. And I think that this, some cases people tend to fight against the digital side with the traditional. I think the key is to not try and, if you like, bastardize content online or cannibalize, should I say, online and offline. The truth is, if you can try and have a slightly different slant online versus your offline product, at least there shouldn't be too much of a conflict.
And what sort of developments have you seen in digital marketing at the Mail Online?
For me personally, and for what we're doing, a lot of the kind of traditional advertising and commercial stuff that you'd see online has now been driven from a much more content perspective. So for us, what's very important is to try, as a newspaper and as a media organisation, is to try and create content for clients, for commercial clients. So if you look at the likes of Google or you look at some of the big search sites, the problem there is actually aggregating content and coming up with content for people. If you look at the newspaper model, there's an awful lot of journalists, an awful lot of writers. So why not harvest them, bring them over and start making video content for clients? We've done that for numerous clients so far, and it's a big growth area for 2013 for us.
You mentioned before that digital marketing works better not in isolation but in cross-media campaigns. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Whilst we all know digital is storming ahead, if you look at advertising revenues and you look at them in this country, traditional still takes up a very large proportion of advertising spend. So I think it's important to really focus on cross-media, to have one phone call through to an organisation and to be able to deliver both an offline and online campaign, and in our case, integrate some video there and some creative, I think is very important, because it's too often people write off the traditional side of things. I think it's a big mistake. We all know where things are going, but we're not quite there yet. So I think the key is to really just marry them together. And I mean, it works better. You'll get more digital spend if you create a cross-media campaign.
How important has video content become to the Mail Online?
What I'm very excited about, and I think where the industry is going, as I said earlier, is the content provision and really coming up with stuff that's cost effective. That's the key. A lot of what we would do now would be taking UK TV collateral, taking budgets from TV, which is another thing, which is obviously what we're seeing in digital now, but basically taking video ideas or ads that have run on TV, reshooting them for a web platform in Ireland for an Irish audience, effectively localizing the message, but doing it at a fraction of the cost, which you can do with in an age when a 17-year-old can make an album on an iPad in their bedroom. That's kind of where we're going. So I think we'll see a huge spike in news organizations, particularly papers and traditional outlets, repurposing their journalists to do pieces to camera, that type of thing. I mean, it's all convergence, and that's what they should be doing.
Doug Farrell from the Mail Online, thanks for coming in and talking to us today at Digital Marketing School.
Thank you very much for having me.
If you have any questions you'd like to ask about digital marketing, don't hesitate to drop me a line at simon@digitalmarketingschool.com.